Army of the Dead is a Netflix movie directed by Zack Snyder. It's coming out in May. I can't wait. It looks badass. It looks crazy. And we have a little bit more information about the movie right now, because back in October of 2019, a lot of journalists and bloggers got to visit the set of Army of the Dead. Of course, they interviewed the cast, the director, but they're under kind of embargo until now it seems, where they can actually release that information. And today, the press were able to do articles about their visit to the Army of the Dead set. And I have two pieces here. One from Paul Shurey from Joe Blow, and the other from Stephen Colbert of Screen Rant. Now, I won't go through every single thing that they've said, but I will go through some of it, which gives us some more background to the movie. Now, there is no spoilers in this, but if you don't want to go know anything and you want to go into the movie pretty fresh, then maybe don't watch this video, maybe come back to it then. But this is Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead, everything you need to know. So he has all the information here in bullet point format. We'll go through it all, we'll break it down, I'll give my thoughts, and then you can give your thoughts in the comments. Okay, so Army of the Dead takes place 6 years after a zombie apocalypse kicked off, which began at the famed and secretive military Area 51 in Nevada. So that's pretty cool. It happened there initially. Military experiment gone wrong, or something otherworldly. Unknown, but the zombie outbreak begins in Area 51 and spreads to Vegas, where it's contained, and a wall is built around it to keep the zombies inside. So it spreads from Area 51, gets out into the world, goes to Vegas, and then the apocalypse happens, and the governments and the army are able to contain them in Vegas. The wall itself is made of shipping containers, which was the most expedient way to trap the zombies inside. There are two types of zombies in the film. Traditional shamblers, which are your regular slow-moving zombies, and alphas, which are the evolved zombies that can move fast and communicate with one another. That's pretty cool. Two types, more the traditional shamblers, the old kind of zombies that you would see in Night of the Living Dead, you know, George Romero's zombies as well, Walking Dead, and you have the alphas. So that's pretty cool. The leader and the smartest, most evolved of the zombies is Zeus, who rides a zombie hearse and carries a staff. Zeus is the zombie that initially escaped from Area 51 and starts the apocalypse. If you're bitten by him, you become an alpha. If you're bitten by a zombie other than him, then you become a shambler, as it gets weaker as it passes on. However, Zeus quickly begins to build his army of alphas while trapped inside Vegas. That's cool. That is pretty cool. If you're bitten by him, you become this smart, fast-moving zombie. If you're bitten by another zombie, a shambler, then you become that kind of zombie, and I think you get weaker as you go on, so slower and more fatigued, and your bones start to rot and stuff, or not your bones, but your organs and stuff like that, so that's pretty cool. Deborah Steiner says that Zeus and his army are simply trying to live as species in their own kingdom that has become the walled-up city of Vegas. City with a Z. But yeah, that's cool. So they want to live in their own kind of world. And that's what Zeus is trying to do. He's trying to build a community of zombies, of alphas, so they can live there and they want to be left alone. So when they see somebody come in like Dave Bautista's crew, they take that personally. In terms of how the zombies communicate, the filmmakers liken it to a kind of wolf pack-like mentality or elevated consciousness that's not quite human, but definitely not mindless. So kind of like how animals communicate. Expect to see zombie animals, as already shown in the trailers, including one of Siegfried and Roy's tigers zombified. That's cool. As well as horses, which the zombies will ride. Come on, that's just badass. Snyder leaned heavily into the Vegas imagery, from Zombie Elvis to the Zombie Queen, which is a Cirque du Soleil performer that's become a zombie. That's cool. As well as other aspects such as strippers, Chippendales, dancers, and everything else you could imagine and would expect from a Vegas set film. Outside the walls of Vegas are refugee camps, which serve as transition center for the infected and or disenfranchised. The government uses these camps as places to send anyone who speaks out against them as well. So it serves two purposes. Okay, so if you're against the government and what they kind of are trying, their conspiracy, if you're a conspiracy theorist, you're put into this kind of this camp. So be careful what side you lie on. Zack Snyder developed the original script for Army of the Dead 10 years ago for a first-time director, but it was never made. Snyder dusted it off and rewrote it with Shea Hatton to direct himself, with much of it changing from them to now. When the government decides that they're going to nuke Vegas to rid the world of the zombie problem once and for all, a casino owner named Hunter Bly approaches Scott, Dave Bautista's character, to help get his crew together and break into Vegas to get the money, so into the casino. The ruined Las Vegas exterior landscape scenes were filmed in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and the VFX team worked from full digital scans they did of the actual Vegas in Nevada. The weather was kind of mixed in New Mexico, and storms would often swell up and stall production. If lighting was spotted from 6 miles of the production, they would have to shut down until they were sure that it was done. Snyder says that the movie is inspired by films like Escape from New York, Aliens, and RoboCop. Snyder wanted to subvert the many zombie tropes that existed and made an effort to have traditional scenes or moments finish differently than what was expected. Snyder wanted to have evolved zombies in the film so that the audience would have some kind of sympathy for them as being semi-conscious beings rather than mindless shamblers that you often feel is being done a favour when killed. The heart of the film is the relationship between Dave Bautista's character and his estranged daughter, played by Ella Purnell, who tricks her way into going on the movie's main mission, where Bautista will attempt to make amends for abandoning her early on. Although still an advocate for motion picture film, Snyder shot Army of the Dead on digital, doing the cinematography himself for the first time on a feature. Snyder used a Red Monstro digital camera in filming Army of the Dead and wanted to focus on using natural light, which would fit well with the capabilities of the camera. He also experimented with a host of different lenses, including some old Canon Dream lenses that were produced in Japan in the 70s. Pretty cool. Each with their own imperfections that enhance the visual quality. That's awesome. Much like his version of Justice League being made to fit an IMAX screen with a specific aspect ratio, Army of the Dead was shot to fill the screen for home viewing. So don't expect any black bars around the sides or anything like that. Snyder calls the experience of making the film refreshing and inspiring, citing the difference between making a smaller budgeted zombie film as compared to a big budget superhero movie, as he was able to get more up close and personal with the process. Having felt removed from it on the larger scale films he'd done in the past, the relationship between Netflix had been amazing for Snyder, who calls it collaborative and supportive, with Netflix being incredibly passionate and comfortable with the move he proposed to them. The film only had 2 weeks left of filming while we were on set, having been filming since June of 2019. So 2019 of June, that's when they started Army of the Dead. All the bloggers and journalists went there in October of 2019. It was really important to have a global cast for the film, according to Deborah Snyder, as the majority of Netflix audience is international, and it simply made sense in the fabric of our lives. And I think that makes sense big time as well. Netflix is everywhere. You can get Netflix wherever you go in the world, so a diverse cast I think will benefit this movie big time. Dave Bautista says that the only reason he wanted to work on this film was to work with Zack Snyder, and as an extra bonus, be able to watch him work and steal his tricks of the trade to use in his own directing endeavours down the line. Dave Bautista plays Scott Ward, a veteran zombie hunter and member of Lost Vengeance Citizen Soldier Group that helped contain the zombie outbreak initially. Oh, cool. At some point, Lost Vengeance rocks a modded out truck that looks like a military style food truck, complete with armour, upguns, barbed wire, and more, with Lost Vengeance painted on it. That's a pretty cool name for a military group. When we find the members of Lost Vengeance in present time, they are all working various jobs, so prepare for a fun sequence of rounding up the crew, a staple of the heist genre. After the zombie outbreak is contained, Bautista Scott goes to work as a short order cook, but his dream is to work independently, specifically by owning his own food truck. The ticking clock aspect of the film kicks in when the president decides to move the nuclear detonation to 4th of July, which is when the group is on the ground in Vegas. So they are then on a countdown to get in and get out before being blown up. Tio Rossi will play a villain in the film and describes it as an opportunity to go off the chain in his performance. Rossi also said that Snyder is taking the zombie genre and making something that both Snyders, but also very different from what we've seen before in the genre. Nora Arzeneder, butchering that name, plays Lily, aka the Coyote, who brings refugees into Vegas to help them find money to buy their way out of the camp. Chris D'Elia was originally cast and filmed his role as Peters, but was recast after his sexual allegations came to light, with Tig Notaro. Notaro plays the recast Peters, who was the helicopter pilot that goes along on the mission to repair the helicopters on top of Bly Casino and fly the team out. Samantha Wynn, who has worked with Snyder before as a stunt performer on films like Sucker Punch, is playing Chambers, a martial artist who will have a big action sequence to highlight her abilities in the film. Sorry about these names now, I'm butchering them, but Ana da Le Ruggiera will play one of the founding members of Lost Vengeance and serves as the unrequited love to Dave Bautista's Scott Ward. She is also the mechanic of the group and owns her own body shop. Army of the Dead comes to Netflix on May 21st, 2021. So that's some cool information right there. And thank you very much to Paul Shurry for coming in and getting this article out here so we can learn a little bit more about Army of the Dead. I'm excited about this, big time excited. You know, Area 51 is brought into it, maybe aliens, who knows. They're trying to get into Las Vegas before the atomic explosion happens where it kills all the zombies, so they have to get in and out in 36 hours to get the money for this big casino owner who wants his money back. Dave Bautista's crew is called Lost Vengeance, which is awesome. We'll get a nice sequence trying to recruit all them up. Batista has a relationship with his daughter who he wasn't always there for as well, so he's trying to make up that to her. So yeah, we got fast zombies, we got the traditional slow zombies as well. We got the alpha zombie Zeus, who if you get bitten by Zeus, you become just like him, but if you get bitten by a shambler, you become one of those kind of fatigued zombies. So some cool information right there. And yeah, so Stephen Colbert from Screen Rant also had some interesting pieces from his article. So this is what Stephen Colbert had to say in his article. Zack Snyder's vision and Netflix partnership explained. Thanks to the high-profile conflict with Zack Snyder and Warner Brothers, culminating in the release of the Snyder Cut, Snyder's relationship with the studio was a big focus in our on-set discussions. Deborah Snyder said, "It's really hard unless you're making a big superhero film or a big franchise to get content that's a little bit pokier, that's a little bit more irreverent. Or maybe a drama to get made. But Netflix is a good fit for their team because she feels like Netflix is allowing filmmakers the chance to make these films that otherwise would not be getting made." Tio Rossi, who has experience from his tenure on a number of Netflix projects, specifically praised the collaboration with Netflix and the creative freedom they've given Snyder, who's credited as a writer, director, producer, director of photography, and even a camera operator. It's almost like vertical integration with Zack. He's doing everything. And when you let someone off the chain like that, like Zack, who is just such a visual master and such an incredible filmmaker, we have this. Snyder himself is also enjoying the partnership, saying they're very comfortable with the movie that I proposed to them, and that's a cool and great experience. It's been an amazing relationship thus far. The level of freedom afforded to Zack Snyder by Netflix was a major talking point, not just with the filmmakers, but also the cast and crew. Tio Rossi said he accepted his role knowing nothing more than the fact that it was a Zack Snyder project, saying that that's all Zack's vision and the team that he has. And when you have that, it's just, you trust so much in it. So yeah, that's my experience with everyone. It's amazing. So that's great. Like, we knew this already. Zack Snyder was going to get to do what Zack Snyder does best, and that's make a Zack Snyder movie. There was no restrictions, no protocols, no list. You need to check this list off and say, yeah, we have to put this in here, we have to change the name or anything like that. No, it's 100% Zack Snyder's movie. So that's unbelievable. The film is going to be insane. It's going to be huge, and we learn a little bit more about the film now. We're not going to get another trailer. I think all we're going to get is a few more TV spots. But I'm so pumped for this. I think this is going to be absolutely huge. It's going to be absolutely insane. So guys and girls, how excited are you for Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead coming to Netflix on May 21st, 2021? Next month, not too long to go yet. Looking forward to it so much. We get to learn so much about this movie just by these set visits. That's pretty cool. Go check out these articles. You want to read them in full. The link is in the description. But guys, give a like, comment, subscribe. Come follow me on all the social medias. Movies That Matter. Search it. You'll find me. Come follow. Come message me anytime you want, and I will always respond. But guys, thanks for watching. Hope you're enjoying the content, enjoying the videos, and let me know any kind of videos or any questions that you want to know. Put them in the comments. It's always good to get feedback. Guys, I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy, and thank you for watching. Army of the Dead is going to be huge. It's going to be insane, and Zack Snyder will redefine the zombie genre once again.